Asah Dudes, before I start the video, I just wanted to say thank you for 2,000 subscribers. We've been growing at a crazy rate this past month, so thank you for getting us to this point. And with that, let's see if we can get to 200 likes this video, so go down below and hit the like button and enjoy the video. Asah Dudes, Jake here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be picking up the 92 F1 build from Wiring. This is going to be a big day. We're super excited to get the truck back and see all the work that EJWireworks did. We got the trailer hooked up to the truck right now and we're getting everything loaded, and then we're going to head up there. I'm not really going to film many clips between now and getting up there, so the next shots you're going to see is us up there and going around the truck. So there's just going to be some clean shots of that, and then we'll probably do a walk around of the truck with Eric at EJWireworks and see what he did. Alright guys, we just got up here to EJWireworks and we're checking out the truck and everything looks amazing. I'm here with Eric and I'm just going to let him walk around the truck a little bit.
Hi. Just finished this truck. It's a race type harness with complete heat shrink and Deutsch connectors. A lot of serviceability built into it, so if there's a problem you can get the dash off quickly. Try to do that for the owner. Just make it easy. If there's ever a problem, I don't want that phone call. You know, I thought about it. I try to build it into it so that I don't get that phone call. I'll show you inside. This is an F150 cab, so it retained its power windows and door locks and things like that. So those, we want to give you those creature comforts. No air conditioning or heating or anything like that in this one. So you're gonna have to tough it out in the cold days, guys. But I deleted the power mirrors and things like that I knew we weren't going to need. But then, you know, subtle things like gotta have your dome lights, you want to see if the door is open, things like just little stuff. All the electrical stuff is on one side of this truck, so if you're stuck somewhere, you go to one point. It's all up on the dash right here. There's fuses for little things like, you know, wipers and turn signals, but then the switch pros, the two switch pros, are really helpful. It took over a lot of this truck. All the lighting, exterior lighting, the whip lights, the fans, overrides for the front fans if the fronts fail or the computer fails or something like that, you'll at least be able to get home. Starter, some dome light, stuff like that. So just really helpful to have. The switch pros are really incredible and they're super programmable. You can do anything with them. Really like them.
So we got literally everything in the dash wired. How many plugs do you think to get the dash out?
Let's see. Well, including the Lowrances, because they'll have their own powers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 6 or 7 plugs, something like that. That's including the USB port and things like that. Everything
in here Eric got wired up for us. Like he said, it was on those two switch pros, so literally everything, all the lights, starting the truck, everything's on those two switches. Again, all the creature comforts from factory in there. Even with the lights, you pull back, if you have one of these trucks, on the actual switch for your turn signals, if you pull it back, it's the flashers. Everything like that is stock. It has it all. So it could be used as a daily driver if you really wanted it. It has all the comforts to do so, and Eric just made it possible that we could do that.
These switch pros, you can change the colors and have different things happen. You can have some things on all the time, so if you want to, you know, just to sit somewhere on the hill with your running lights on or your underglow, they're just on all the time. Other things won't work, like your engine fan, your trans fan, but you turn the key on and then, yeah, you're getting those options. So if you pull up somewhere and you turn off your key, they'll shut off, but your lights stay on. It's just, they're really, I really like them. They're, they did the thinking for you.
And for the fans, you said you did one for the left fan, one for the right, correct?
Well, what I did was, if you look at the switch panel here, you've got fan 1, roof 1, and trans fan. Over here, you've got fan 2,
make things easier,
roof 2, and trans. So rather than taxing one switch pro with the functions of doing both, There's 2 lights on the roof on one panel. Back over here, hit those 2. So you're never actually double taxing. You're not taxing the piss out of one of them over the other one. They all kind of have an even load, if you will. Just didn't want to wear one out more than the other one, or take a chance of something failing prematurely. So the front fans will come on too if there's ever a problem and they didn't come on.
Manual override on those ones. Yeah, so those should come on automatically with the temps, right?
Yeah, with the temp. But if you lose a temp sensor, what happens?
Yep, the backup, exactly.
Yeah, or you're driving to a hot seat.
Yeah, exactly. So everything's been designed around what could work best for us in any type of situation, like with those fans. Just manual override on stuff like that, just to make our life a little bit easier. Eric's gone the extra mile, just getting us dialed in that aspect.
Right, just one of those things that when you're driving, you don't realize how annoying things can be until you're out there driving. Like, I don't know, I put a chrome steering column in my Blazer. I thought, oh, this was so cool, until I hit the sun. I'm like, all I can see in my window is my chrome steering column, so I painted the top of it black. It pissed me off. So things like even the brightness of that dashboard, even though it's blue and it's easy on the eyes, after 3 hours of driving it at midnight or something like that, that's gonna be like, wow, God, just turn that thing down. So it's nice to have the ability to see things change.
Yeah,
and you can set them too. You can set them brightnesses and stuff like that.
That's nifty. You press the corner, those dim, and then everything else dims on the inside as well.
The
so
radio
if we're driving at night and everything's too bright, just turn on those corner lights and everything goes down. It's like night mode.
One of the most important things before you even pull one wire or start engineering anything is you weigh everything electrically. Like the lights, figure out what it's pulling, figure out this radio over here. Does it need a constant? Does it need a memory or an ignition only like it is? We go through and we weigh everything. Electrically, what's the toll is it going to put? What kind of toll is it going to put on this electrical system? So you know where to start building from. If a 14 gauge will work in one car because it's 3 feet away, doesn't mean it's going to work on the next one when it's 8 feet away. You need to bump it to a 12. Things like that. You weigh everything, calculate everything. I mean, I spend 2 days of thinking before I pull one wire, and it saves a lot of homework in the end.
Yeah, it's not do it as you go. It's plan everything out and do it right the first time.
Every car I do starts with pencil and paper. It's the only way.
And you said you save all your notes on those, right?
Yep, I got a lot of notes.
So everything gets filed. So if we ever, for some reason, were to have a problem, which I bet we're not.
You call me up 6 years from now and say, what's this orange wire with a black stripe hanging off the frame? It's probably going to be fuel pump, but let me double check.
It's all written.
It's all written, yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's rad.
Eric did a super good job on this thing. We're super pumped. I just want to get home and be able to mess with everything and figure everything out so we know everything from the heart. But that's going to be a cool little process. There's the buggy whip right there. It's going to be a cool process learning all the buttons and everything on this truck and just tinkering around with it till we get it running. Now that this thing's wired, it's only a matter of time till we hear it for the first time. That's what we were just talking about. Christian was saying this weekend, but we'll see.
We'll see.
What else do we really need?
All the oils need to go back in it. There is some lines that need to be hooked back up. The intake needs to go on it. There's a couple things, but
wiring was the biggest step. That was the biggest obstacle for us to be able to start this thing. And now that that's done, it's just grind time until we can actually start this thing. Just got the truck all loaded up. Thank you again, Eric, for doing the work that you did on the truck. We're gonna have all the information for EJWireworks down below in the description. So go check them out if you need something wired. They do an awesome job. We're gonna head home right now, and then I'll walk you guys through a little bit more on the truck. All right, guys, we are back at the house. Before I ended the video, I just wanted to walk you guys through the truck a little bit more and show you some more of the details on the wiring and some of the buttons and functions that we now have. So we'll just do a quick walkthrough of the truck. We'll start at the front, and I'm gonna try my best not to repeat things that I may have said earlier in the video, so bear with me. But we have all the headlight wiring right here. Literally every wire on this truck has been either zip tied or clamped, as you can see right here. And that's just prevent it from wiggling around and possibly wearing into the wire and causing a short somewhere. So everything is secured. This truck obviously is an off-road truck, so it's gonna be bouncing around a lot and things are gonna be moving. So just securing all the wires like that is super helpful. Up front here, we do have all the wiring for the harness right here. The intake is still off. The reason for that is the connectors for the fuel injectors themselves. One of them, they don't match up to the manifold and the injectors. One of them's a circle style connector and one of them's a square style connector. I forget which one has which connector, but they don't work. So we're either gonna have to get new injectors or we're gonna have to get adapters. And the cheaper route would be to go with the adapters, but it's just one more connection that could possibly fail on you. So the more reliable decision would be going with just new injectors, but it's also gonna be an expensiver route to go. So we haven't really made a choice on that. And then we have more of the harness coming through right here through the firewall. And like I said, here's some more clamps just keeping everything secure. Chris and I actually had to go to the junkyard to get the connectors for the wiper motor right there, because they actually don't sell those. So we had to go get that at the junkyard, and then we sent it up to Eric at EJWireworks, and he got that all wired in. So we are gonna have windshield wipers. Right here, this is just the antenna for the low range GPSs inside. But that pretty much is it for the front of the truck. Some more wires running right here for things like the cooler. And then we got a ground right there. Super simple, super clean up here. Eric did a good job. So now we'll move on to the inside of the truck. We let both the batteries charge on a trickle charger. And just to get to 100% before I showed you any of this, that's why this is getting filmed a little bit later than when we picked the truck up. So both those are charged and we can run some stuff on the truck right now, so I can show you the lighting and things like that. So coming into the truck, right as the door opens, we got the dome lights come on. Those are the KC Cyclones right there. We got 2 of them lighting up the inside of this thing. And then here's the switch pros right here. We got one for the driver's side, and then one, it's on the driver's side as well, but it's on the right side of the column. So we have a whole bunch of different stuff here. I'm gonna walk you guys through all the buttons on here and just show you what they do. So I just turned the ignition on, and you can see the race packs all lit up over there, as well as the switch pros. So I'm just gonna walk you guys through each button and kind of tell you their function. So starting in the top left right here, we have our front lights. These are just gonna be our headlights for at night. And then to the right of that, we're gonna have our reverse lights. So that's when we throw it in reverse, get some light out back so we can see behind us. To the right of that, we have our horn. That's actually, we don't have a horn in the truck right now, but it's set up for one. So we'll just be able to wire it in once we get the horn, and that button's already ready for us. Then right here, we got the trans fans. We actually have both the fans on different switches. So this is gonna be the left fan right here. And over here, you can see, this is for the right fan on the trans cooler. So that's nice to just have the option to be able to control both fans if we want to just throw one on or two on, depending on how hot the trans is getting. But continuing, we have our corner lights right here. This is for the front lights. When we press these, if you can see it, might be hard on camera, you can see the switch pros gets a little bit dimmer. So that's a good function for at night. Once we throw those corner lights on, everything dims down. So it's almost like a night mode. All the lights aren't flashing your eyes as much. You can concentrate on the dirt a little bit more. And then to the right of that, we just have our dome light, obviously right here. So pretty simple switch there. To the right of that, we got our fan. This is for the cooler up front for the motor. And then to the right of that, okay, we have roof 1, and then we'll have roof 2 over there. So roof 1 and roof 2 actually power different lights on the light rack up top. Roof 1's gonna be for the 2 of them, and then roof 2 is gonna be for the 3. It's gonna be the center and the outside 2. So really nice to have that option as well. So if we don't want to throw a ton of light out, we can just turn on 2 or 3 depending on what we need. So I just hop in the truck. Going to show you guys the buttons on this other switch right here. To start, we got the amber. This is going to be for the KC bar out back. And then to the right of that, we got our buggy whip. Just be useful at night so people can see us. And then to the right of that button, we have the button for our KC Flex Series bar out front. And then to the right of that, I already mentioned this is for the other trans fan. And then this one, this is one of the best ones on the Switch Pros right here. This is our underglow, just for at nights. To the right of that, that's gonna be our ignition. And then to the right of that, we have fan 2 for the front. The motor cooler is actually set up the same as the trans, so we'll be able to control each fan on there. So another really nice option. And then here's roof 2, like I was saying before, for the top. So this one should control the center and the 2 outside ones. So that's the Switch Pro setup we got going on in the truck. As you can see, they're actually different colors right now for whatever reason. But that just goes to show you some of the options you have with it. You can change the color on these things, the brightness, and you can actually change how the switches work themselves. For instance, you can change it from a momentary switch to a toggle on and a toggle off. So just some nice options you get by running these. Over here, we have the GPS for the driver. If you're new to the channel, we have a GPS for the driver and the passenger. So just a nice option that we have. I'm just zoomed in on a random spot on this. And then over here, here's the race pack. We're still learning a lot about this thing. We're gonna have to set everything up within it, but I'm super excited to learn. As you can see, we got all the lights going on here. Some of those are warning lights, and then we also have RPM is what this top one's for. But ton of adjustability within these. Here's the buttons for those. I'm just gonna have to learn more about it and play with it. Down here we got the radio. None of the speakers are in the truck right now. We're gonna have to get some door panels and speakers, obviously. So this is not much use right now, but it's all ready for us. All the speakers are already wired. Just gonna be a plug and play type thing. And then over here, we just got the radio set up for the truck, the intercoms, and then Eric actually got this installed for us. This is just like a cigarette lighter, but it's USBs. So we'll be able to charge our phone or whatever out in the desert while we're driving around. So nice option to have there as well. Thank you, Eric, for installing that for us. Moving to the back of the truck, not a whole lot to show back here, but I'm still gonna walk through it with you guys. In the truck, we have both the batteries, which if you've been watching the channel, you already knew that. We also have the connector right here going to the taillights. What's nice about having the connector here is that to pull off the bedside, it's super simple. We have a bolt here, and then 2 bolts up front right there. And then this connector and this whole bedside will come off. So super simple. We don't have to mess with any fender washers or anything. Just those 5 things and this thing will pop right off. But up here, we have the wiring from the battery itself going along the top of the frame rail, and that'll go inside of the truck. But we can put this panel back on now. You can see we have the rear one on, but we left the front one off because the truck was getting wired, so that can now go back on the truck. So coming around the truck, we have the wiring for the light bar and the light rack up top. That just comes up right here and runs along the back side of this tube, super clean, and then goes to those guys. Like I said, not a whole lot back here. Right here sitting, we have the license plate lights. Obviously we don't have a license plate mounted, so we're gonna have to do that, but Eric already got those wired in for us. So it's just gonna be a matter of mounting those, and we'll have the license plate all lit up. So that's my rundown on the truck. I'm probably gonna end the video here. I just wanted to thank Eric and Jamie at EJWireworks again for doing a phenomenal job on the truck. We're super grateful that you guys did this for us. It's weird seeing everything with power to it and actually working. Like I said, their information is going to be down below in the description, so if you need to have a vehicle wired, definitely go check them out. If you've made it to this point, thank you for watching, and go comment below what you think of the truck. We're super pumped and we can't wait to get it running. But with that, please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.